Novak Djokovic and Andy Murray called for Wimbledon to move their start times forward after hitting curfew at this year's championships. The likes of Novak Djokovic and Andy Murray are set to be made to wait to learn whether Wimbledon will change their start times next year after being caught out by the curfew. Play is only allowed to go on until 11 p.m. at the All England Club, and 2 matches had to be carried over at this year's championships while 2 came close to the deadline. But any alteration to the schedule will likely only be announced at the annual spring press conference, 9 months away. The curfew wreaked havoc at Wimbledon this year as Murray's second-round clash with Stefanos Tsitsipas had to stop at the conclusion of the third set, 20 minutes before the 11 p.m. cutoff point. Djokovic was also affected, with his fourth-round match against Hubert Hurkacz stopping at 10:34 p.m. on Day 7 of the championships. Both men then criticized the later 1:30 p.m. start time on center court after different outcomes to their matches. Murray losing in 5 sets after leading by 2-1 when play stopped, while Djokovic won in 4 after winning the first 2 in tiebreaks on Sunday night. And the Serb had another brush with the curfew in the third round against Stan Wawrinka, managing to wrap up the victory at 10:46 p.m. There were also concerns when 2022 champion Elena Rybakina and last Brit standing Katie Boulter took to Centre Court just before 9 p.m. on the first Saturday of the tournament. But the third seed needed just 57 minutes to win, saving the tournament of another stoppage to a match. If Wimbledon is to reconsider the 1:30 p.m. start time on centre court, and perhaps even the 1 p.m. start on court one, it would likely be a lengthy process with several stakeholders to consult. The All England Club often announces its most pressing news about the tournament in the annual spring press conference, usually falling in the last week of April. And if they do make a decision over the schedule, it will likely be announced during this news conference, meaning Djokovic and Murray have to wait 9 months to learn whether their pleas fall on deaf ears or not. After his 2-day victory over Hurkacz, the 23-time Grand Slam champion was asked whether the club needed to look at the center court start and proposed a much earlier time. "I think so. I agree with that," the world number 2 said. "Obviously curfew is probably something that is much more difficult to change, I understand. Because of the community and the residential area we are in, I think the matches could be pushed at least to start at 12 o'clock. I think it would make a difference." Meanwhile, Murray, a 2-time Wimbledon winner and the first home champion in 77 years, was initially uncertain on his thoughts on the start time but later made his stance clear on social media. "I don't know. Wimbledon make their decisions. It's obviously not just what's best for the players," he said of the scheduling. "There's obviously other things, like TV, hospitality, those sorts of things that are factored into those decisions. I am sure they're weighing all of those things up to try and make the right decision for the event. I don't know whether they think that it's been good or not. I don't know how they decide on that." But the 36-year-old went on to retweet an article calling for Wimbledon to scrap their 1:30 p.m. center court start after multiple matches came close to the 11 p.m. curfew. All England Club chief executive Sally Bolton did admit that there would be a review on the start times at the conclusion of this year's championships, but said there had been positives to some of the later matches. Discussing the ticket holders, she said, "They get a very, very full day in center court, and as I walked out last night, as they were all leaving, what I saw and felt was a real buzz of excitement from people who'd had a fantastic full day on center court. And as far as the TV audience is concerned, matches are happening at a time when they're accessible to people. We're seeing viewing figures that are beyond our expectations and beyond previous years, so I think they probably speak for themselves." Bolton will be part of the spring press conference next year, when players and fans will learn whether play can be moved up on the biggest show court to avoid more matches being carried over when it gets to 11 p.m.